Welcome to Yonita. She's helping us, and it's a pleasure to have her. So we were talking about the beautiful Parsha of Mishpatim, and I learned this from. Can you hear? Well, this is the last week of Shovavim. If you see the notes on the front page, Shovavim are the first parshas of the book of Shemos. The last of Shovavim, it's the first letter, Shemos, Va'era, Bo, V'Shalach Yisro, Mishpatim. That's us today. Mishpatim is the last of the Shovavim, which are special weeks to do tshuva and be close to Hashem. And Shovavim. Today we're Mishpatim. It's the first Shovavim. It's the first. Jova asked a very good question once. She said, "You would think it should stop at Yisro. That's the climax, the apex. We're getting the Torah on Mount Sinai. What is more? What do you do with it?" Thank you, Yonita. Mishpatim is you bring it in your kitchen. What do you do with the Torah? It's not up there one time daily. It's minutely. You lose something. Hashem, help me find it. You find it, thank you, Hashem. You put the milk over the place, you get separated. It's our whole life. And so that's Mishpatim. Thank you. And so it is a Parsha of laws. It applies to 2023. It applies to us today. Hi. It applies to us today as much as it did to the cow and to, because cow, we carve, right? ACEG is all cars eat gas, all cows eat grass. It's the same idea. Remember your ACEG? Oh, it's like part of the piano. Okay, that's all I remember. But it connects cows and cars, so shouldn't give you that thought. But meanwhile, let's go to a very interesting pasuk in the Parsha. It's pasuk. It's Parsha 23, Chaf Gimel. Hi, kitty cat. It's Chaf Gimel, and it's pasuk 5. If you have a book, a sefer of Shemos, and could look into it, this is a beautiful pasuk, and there's so much in it. We could talk forever on this pasuk. Oh, I have a collar next to me. Wow. Shechina's right here. The Shechina, you don't need more. Wow. It's a big, just say hello and mazel tov. Shalami. Hello. So this pasuk is very, very interesting. And I would ask if somebody could read it in Hebrew and then translate it to English. Then we could that will jump from there. We have like like we're going to jump in from that. Anyone? Kisira Chamor Sonacha. Oh, good. If you do Hebrew, could you do English? Good. We'll do English. That would be beautiful. Beautiful. Who could read the English on that? It's the same line. When you see. Wonderful. Thank you. Well, in a minute. Rovates. V'chadalta.
And would refrain from raising it.
Thank you very much, both of you. Beautiful. And this is so interesting because the pasuk, when we think of it, we have some questions. Does anyone hear any questions on? Does anything like jump out at you? Just like just hits you without even thinking. Just like, what's going on here? That's a good question. In those days, I don't know, maybe down the field or something. Good question. Yeah. Why is it your enemy? Since when are we allowed to hate a fellow Jew? It doesn't say chamor. What? Okay, chamor sonacha, right. Why should you say that your enemy? Could say chamor re'echa, your friend. Just say chamor ben adam. That's a very good question. Is he sitting back and saying he's going to help me, or is he trying his best, doing as much as his strength allows him, and then says, I need help? Yeah, but I think there's a person there. So here's the person.
Otherwise, how would you know it's your enemy?
Right, how do you know? That's a very good point. Good. So here's the passage in English. Now, and so the question is, why does the Torah have to say, Rashi says, put a question mark here. Rashi says on this, because there's no signs, periods, question marks in the Torah, the sacred Torah that we read, there's no punctuation. So Rashi says, Lashon Tmiya, put a question mark here. Would you consider not helping him? What's the question? Somebody's in need. Somebody's being crushed under the weight of their heavy burden. Is there a question? Would you question that? So Rashi says, the Torah goes on to say, Azov tazov imo, help. Now, what is this word azov? Usually, like tazovli, leave me alone. Who azov at chanu, they left the store 10 minutes ago. Azov is usually leave. Here it means help. But why does the Torah use azov tazov? You should surely help him, because the Torah is saying, who is this enemy? Sonecha is a person who sins. We don't hate the person, but we hate the sin. The person who lies, you don't hate him. He doesn't, a kid lies. You say you're a liar? No, turns him into a serial liar. You say, you're a good boy, but you lied. We separate the person from the sin. Because the person is not the sin. Each of us is a pure, holy neshama. The Torah says, help him. Why? Because he's a pure, holy neshama. Even if he sinned. Now, where do we see sin in here? I see a mule, a donkey with a heavy, and here, watch. Okay? Tachas maso. What is the main heaviness and burden that we walk around with? Sin, right? Sin is heavy on us. I was mean to someone. I said something not nice. I feel it's heavy on me. And the word chamor means donkey, but it's also chomer. Anyone know what the word chomer means? Same idea, just chomer means things, like chomrius, like gashmius. In other words, I got a lot, like Dr. Masparo. Chomer is, if you see your enemy, chomer, he's into chomrius, he's into sins. He's away from Hashem. It's sort of like the opposite of ruchani, spirituality. He's into the physicality. He's into his sins. And then he's so much into it that he's crushing under the weight of his misdoings, of his wrong. Would you not go and help him? So it says help him. The words here are zov tazov, leave your hatred, leave your animosity, leave your looking down and judging him, and exchange it for love. Put in your heart love for him. Love him and help him. Now, what about this word emo? What does that mean? Help him with him. Like who had said here that he shouldn't be sitting by doing nothing, folding his arms like he's in Florida drinking something, on the beach. Help me. He has to be part of it. If a person fell into sin, hi Leah. If a person fell into sin, if a person fell into, let's say, God forbid, he has hitmakrut, that means hitmakrut is like he's makor to drinking or to drugs. There's a word for it in English. Addiction, thanks. And he's addicted. If he sits back and he needs help, okay, nobody's questioning he needs help. He can't get out of it by himself, but he can't do it for him. He has to understand there's a problem. He has to appreciate and feel I messed up, but good. and help him with him. He has to be there even a little bit. He can walk one baby step, but he has to be part of the process. Realizing that he needs help. Can't do it all from the Torah says, it's teaching us the way to help each other. It's teaching us the Torah how to feel for each other. For the guy who's down and out under his burden of sin. And this is how we do it with love. Leave away your anger or your hatred, switch it for love and have him do it too. Because even with a child, you teach a kid, a baby, how to walk. If you're going to hold his hand forever, he won't learn how to walk. If you're doing his homework, you have to do a little, even if it's hard. Otherwise, he's 18, you're still doing his homework. You're still like teaching he can't walk alone. He can't make it alone in the world. This man says, Mommy, I don't want to go to school today. Why not? He says, because the teachers hate me, the kids hate me, and I just feel terrible. She says to him, you're 40 years old, you're the principal, you better go. So we gotta hold their hand and help them to walk, to make decisions, but we have to infuse in them emo. They have the ability to grow. They have that inner voice that tells them what to do. In addiction, the 12 steps, this is very, very, very important. Trust your inner voice, trust yourself. And the word voice, interestingly, is kuf, this is called voice. Like the voice is the voice of the Jewish people. We're busy with our voice praying to Hashem. And this word called the letter kuf is the only letter in the entire alphabet, the entire Jewish alphabet, Hebrew alphabet, that goes underneath the line. See, it's under. The vav is on the line. It's above Macabbi. It connects the kuf and the lamed. The lamed is the only letter in the whole Hebrew alphabet that goes above the line. So if you trust your inner voice, it might start very down there. I'm down in the dumps. Black down here, it's cold, it's damp, it's confusing, it looks like there's no way out. And you go up to the vav, you're gonna get out. We're gonna get out with our voice to Hashem. But trust that inner voice of us. And so when I help somebody, it has to be emo. I don't do it for him, because then what do I get? He just becomes dependent on me. It's just what's it called? Enabling him. Emo, he has to be there in the process of getting better, of health, of becoming a wholesome person. So this is how the pasuk plays out. What does? Cool? Cool? Cool. It's cool. Right. It's cool. Right. It's cold also, but it's cool. Yeah.
Joining in for a few minutes.
Oh, right.
What are we doing here?
Oh, we're talking about. Rechov Yerushalayim, who does sins, will base myself from the heaviness of your sin. And you leave him? No, save him. Don't hate him, love him, but emo, he has to also do some of the work. With becoming healthy. Hang on, by showing faith in him. No, that's a great question. By showing faith in him. So this could be a friend, it could be a spouse, it could be a child, it could be a parent. He's in a bad place. To ignore his problem is not going to help him. He's sagging under the weight. And his state of his soul has a spiritual crushing problem. And the neshama finds sin as a very heavy weight. Mitzvahs are the opposite. Mitzvahs are kalos v'neimos ma'od. Mitzvahs are light and pleasant, very light and very pleasant. See somebody just like walking around like they're, you know what I mean? They're like a little bit like, they're doing mitzvahs. They're with Hashem. Because mitzvahs bring us up a little bit. We can breathe, we feel good, like Yaakov, his heart lifted up his feet, and then he danced. And then when he dances, you feel, even in the beginning, you feel that heaviness. It just opens up worlds. It opens up yourself to Hashem. It opens up me to who I am. Mitzvahs are kalos v'nimos, light and pleasant. The sins are heavy. So he is crushing under the weight, the burden of the heavy sins. He's like paralyzed. And it's like, I was angry at someone. I feel badly. I was mean to someone. Oh, another few pounds until my shoulder's really sad. How am I going to get up and dance? So how can I help this person? And so the Torah says, Tazov, Tazov, take away the anger and get in there and help him. I could say, whoa, you dug the hole, you stay in there. You made the bed, sleep in it. You made these problems. You made this complex confusion and bad for yourself. How can I help you? It smells. He's in like a dumpy place, like in the middle of like a sewer hole. Get away. I can't be here. As a Jew, he has a holy soul. I'm going to even get dirty for him. I'm going to even go to tzaddik and do this. They come down to our level to pick us up. They have that love and that mysterious nefesh, Moshe Rabbeinu, all the tzaddikim. And so we have to leave away the negative feelings and we have to go in and help him. And you asked how. So we help him with him, not instead of him. He has to help himself. And we don't want to undo his bechira. We want him to see, I can do it too. I have worth. I can build myself up. I can have faith in myself. Hashem has faith in us. Moida'ani, thank you, Hashem, for giving me back my soul, because it goes up there every night, gets cleaned up, and comes down. So, Rabbi Emunasecha, wouldn't we think we should say, how great is my faith? You've done so many good things for me. You took away my soul, you cleaned it, gave it back. Moida'ani, shechazarti, you brought it back to me. How great is my faith in you? But no, we say, Rabbi Emunasecha, how great is your faith in me? Hashem has faith that I'm going to have a good day. He's my best cheerleader. You're going to have a good day, Pesharia. You're going to have a good day, Leah. Elisheva. Yeah. You're going to have a good day, Shoshana. And Hashem has faith in me that I'm going to have a good day. That gives me so much strength. And it makes me feel I can do it. That's how you help someone, emo. And it makes me feel Hashem is with me. Iti etzli v'imadi, he's always with me. He's in my kitchen when I'm looking for my grater. He's with me all day, all my life, with the better things and the things that seem not as good, but he's there. He's there holding me up. And when I feel that power. I still feel humble, because alone I'm nothing. I can't move my baby finger. With him, I could climb Everest and farther. The sky's the limit, and even more with Hashem. And so, Emo, show him that he can do it. Even if now he's very weak, he can only, do a little steps. A person who's sick, let him just get up a little bit, let him move a little, let him maybe take a little spoonful to his mouth, and the next day 2 spoonfuls. And so this is like the 12-step program. And he has to show responsibility for who he is. And what about the second side of the coin? What if I need help? Who do I look for to get help? Today, there's so many mentors and coaches and psychologists. They're all out there. There's a great need, and people are willing to pay a lot of money to solve my problems. Give me a magic treatment. Show me what to do. Show me how to live. I'll pay you a lot of money. No, we don't want that. We don't want somebody to make money or honor from us and keep us small. We're looking for someone who will build us up, who will make us independent. Emo, who will make us feel, I can do this. I'm on the right track. I believe in that call, that inside voice inside of me. And that's who we have to look for. Not somebody who keeps me dependent, who keeps me small, but who makes me great. And so I can choose how to act, how to live. I can make healthy choices. I can even enjoy life. Now that's a finish. I can enjoy life. I can enjoy the moment. I can enjoy my life by knowing this moment is my life. Tomorrow's a mystery. Yesterday's history. Moment is a gift. That's why it's called the present. I heard that from Sarah Nova, my dear Machatena. So the Zohar says something so beautiful. Ashrei mi shemachzik biyad harasha. Fortunate is the person that holds the hand of the evil one. Zohar goes on to say, if you would realize how great that is to hold his hand, you'd be running in the street looking for the evil one, looking for the Rasha, looking for the sinner. What does it mean? The Baal Shem Tov goes on to say, what does it mean? It doesn't say give him rebuke. What are you making from your life? Look at you in the mud. Look at your parents, they're so holy. Look at you. You have a holy soul. What are you wasting it? No, give him rebuke. Hold his hand. Encourage him. Show him love and warmth. The Baal Shem Tov says, holding someone's hand, like we don't always go around holding each other's hands. That's a sign of love. That's a sign of closeness, of warmth. And we should do that for ourselves as well, maybe even more so. Because when we fall, the burden is very great. And we have to love the person, not the sin, because the person is not the sin. We're compared to a walnut, the Jewish people. El ego ginas egos yeradati. Shlomo Melech says in Shir Shir, I went down to the garden of walnuts. How are we compared to a walnut? A walnut has such a strong cover, strong. It's like hard to break, like breaking a hard nut to crack. Even it falls into the dirt and falls into the mud, and it looks like, oh, the meat of the walnut is gone, it's contaminated, it's spoiled, it's like dangerous to eat. You just pick it up, wash it under the water, wipe it off. The meat, the walnut that we eat is clean, it's pure. That's the Jewish neshama. We could be surrounded by layers, gullus, thousands of years, influence of others, thousands of years. The Yetzer Hara, who does a good job, we can learn from him not to give up, because he's in there working, like 24/7. Bad, you're not good, look what you did. And we learned that from him. And yet we know the beauty of the neshama, the pure neshama. Rabbi Nachman says about Tidan Mekasafu, we should judge everyone to the scale of merit. And we should look with a magnifying glass for that good point. We shouldn't go and rebuke him. We should look for that, caught you, not on the bad. Especially ourselves, because we could be our worst enemy. With him, he double parked. He didn't see the sign. He had to run in and get medicine. Who knows? I saw the sign, went in to get ice cream. I can't fool myself. I can judge him easily for consequences myself. I know the picture. I know the score. I'm not adding up. No, because I have that holy Jewish neshama. That's the real me. The rest is just the klipa over the walnut or a little dust that has to be pushed off. And then I can emerge the real me. How do I get to the real me? So saying in the pasuk imo, to show him, tazov azov, leave the hatred, leave the judgment and the rebuke, and just be the love, the encouragement to each other and to ourselves. And like you said, ourselves is as important or more because it's hardest to do. You should love your friend kamocha, like yourself. Love ourselves. We're so precious. If only I loved myself a fraction of how much Hashem loves me, I'd be in good shape. Hashem says Hashem loves the farthest Jew, the lowest Jew, and none of us in this room is that category because we're in this room. We would not be here. We'd be doing other fun stuff. We're here doing the best fun. And we're here. He loves the farthest Jew more than parents who waited for 20 years to have a child, finally had one son, the apple of their eye, what they wouldn't do for him, how happy they are. Hashem loves the farthest Jew more than that. So how much does he love each and every one of us? How much faith he has in us, and so we can be done the kasakuz if we can judge each other and ourselves to the scale of merit. And even though the good is so small, And there's so much bad. The good outweighs the bad. Why? Because the bad is temporary. The bad is not me. The bad is like just influences, or I was in a bad mood, or I wanted something, I forgot. The bad is so like weightless. And the good, even if it's small, is nitzchi, it's eternity. The good is forever and ever. The good is the real thing. That's the real me. There could be layers. Even like about being happy, it says you should fake it till you make it. So what good is that? I'm really, really sad inside, but faking it, I'm a clown. How does that help? Well, what comes out, endorphins come out, and they cannot distinguish between a real joy or a real laugh, like that was such a funny joke, or I put it on, I fake the laugh, it does the same for the body. And what it does for the soul is that I feel that we have layers. So maybe on the outside, on my highest layer, I'm sad. And how do I get to that middle layer? Well, the bottom layer, I'm very happy. I'm a Jew. I'm a pure neshama. I'm with Hashem. What does it say? Hashem and the Torah and the Jews are all one. I'm one with Hashem. How could I not be happy? We have Shabbos. It's coming in a few days. How could I not? That's down there. Sometimes in the middle, it doesn't do it. Say Shabbos 1,000 times, it's not going to do it. Fake it to connect. The outside, the top layer, that might not be the shikhi, might not be that happy to that lower, connect to the real me. And that's how faking it can make it in a real way. Now it says, if you fake it and you pretend to be happy, simcha amiti tavo yavo. True joy definitely will come. So we have so many, like in our toolbox, so many tools to do it. Sometimes I feel, okay, I'm a Jew, it's almost Shabbos. That does it. If it doesn't do it, he gives advice, just be silly. So last night, I was just so silly. I couldn't fall asleep. I was going like this. Under my covers, if you didn't see me, you wouldn't be here now. I would have been sending me over there to the other building. It's like, what's she doing under her cover? I said, Hashem, I tried everything. So Sunny Goy, I'm a good yid. You love me. I tried all the standard and didn't do it. So I go to the next advice. Miladish, this is first aid. When the real medicine doesn't work, it's first aid. Just make noises. I was like a cow and I was a cat. Baruch Hashem, Miladish, like you said, it's so powerful.
You have a hard time. A little schmeckle, a little rock. It's so
Great, not good, great. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's more true and more deep, and it happens. It works. I try to dance around my dining room table, and it's a big one for 5 minutes every day. So I could be feeling down, but the dancing, it's good exercise on that level, right? And for my soul, it changes me. It makes me like, thank you, Hashem, for what I have. And another tip, and this is it. The person has problems. Anybody here know anyone like that? Your long lost cousin in Arkansas? No. Anyway, I'm just telling you for the long lost cousin in Arkansas. Asking for a friend. My issues, my problems that weigh me down, which is Torah says my ruchni is my spiritual. I'm not where I want to be, and I was meaner than I should be, and I didn't act nicely, and I didn't pray today. I mean, my chakras today looked like a zooming railroad car, train that, didn't stop for anything. stop and think. I want to say, I'm talking to you, Hashem. I'm praising you. I love you. I want that. Today didn't happen, but I don't give up. How could I be happy? I'm under the stress. I'm under the strain. There's doctors and there's medicine and there's banks and there's relationships and there's no relationships and there's bad relationships and there's, the list goes on and on. So Hashem loves me. Each of us is his only daughter. I'm not one of X billion. I'm his only daughter. What he wouldn't do just for me. The top doctor in Mount Sinai, the top banker of bank discount, the top of the world. He'll do everything for his only daughter. So he stops and listens to me, and I talk to him like a child. I'm not embarrassed to be a 2-year-old. I feel that's like, for me, that's old. I'm like a newborn. Shem, help me to wash, help me to think, help me to get through the day, help me with the banker. I'm so upset that somebody yelled at me, or I yelled at someone 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago. Help me to get over that. Help me to feel good about who I am, to love myself a fraction of how much you love me, to have today, to live it. You have faith in me, let me live my day according to your will, to give you life, to be alive, not just, the expression, I have time to kill. Life. I turned a certain birthday recently. I thank you, Hashem. Now give me strength and understanding and excitement to serve you and to make you happy every single day. You know what happened with my peeler, right? I was embarrassed to tell this story, but I heard a story from a woman with her chewing gum. She was in a car in Baltimore, Toronto, one of the two, or a third place, and it was dark. And she says, the moment when the asimon falls, it's a moment of enlightenment when the chewing gum has nothing more to offer. There's no sweetness, it's just hurting your gums, giving you a headache, making you want a hot dog. That's how she talks. She's great. Yael Bertrand, my new friend. And at that moment, you say, I got to get rid of my gum. But here I am in the back seat of the car. It's dark. I didn't bring anything. I'm not going to put it in my pocket. So I feel around next to me. It's like a piece of paper. I bring it to the window to look at it. It's a gum wrapper. Hashem, I know you're intimately involved in my life, but to care about my gum. Thank God she said she was smart enough not to tell anyone in the car, because they would have sent her straight to that same machlaka. And when she told the children, they said, oh, mommy, it's like gone to a higher level now. She said to them, it's not the gum, it's the relationship with. That gave me the courage to share what happened with me that Friday. I think it was Friday 3 weeks ago. So I'm looking for my peeler. I've just done the carrots for the chicken soup, and now I'm doing the kugel. I can't find my peeler. It's not on the milk side. It's not on the flesh meat, the milk. It's nowhere. It's not where I always leave it on the hook. Hashem, don't you want me to make kugel for Shabbos? It's for you. It's for your Shabbos. My kugel is like my mother's. I was like, great. Come over and try it. And we're having company. The kids are coming. They're waiting for my kugel. Please, don't you want me to find it? It wasn't happening. I looked all over. I said, Hashem, you know what? I'm going to sing to you. I'm going to sing a song to you. I'm going to give you so much joy, I hope. I started singing Hashem, Hashem, I love you, and you are the best Hashem, and you Hashem, Hashem Abdullah Bahagura. And I said, Hashem, you are great, you're greater, you're the greatest. And when I said those words, I opened up the other side. It's always on my fleshik side. I opened up the milchik side. I'm not organized in any room of the house, just my kitchen. My niece comes once every 5 years, and she laughs. She opens up the milk drawer. She sees the plastic bags, sandwich size. She says, oh, Aunt Miriam, you always have plastic bags you're going to put in your milk and silverware. Use for sandwich, for tomato. That's obvious. But meanwhile, it was on the other side. And when I said those words, I found it. And then what came into my mind, not even trying, it just hit me. Oh, I found my grater. Because I sang, you're great, and you're greatest. No, it's a peeler. And I thanked Hashem. A couple hours later, I put it away, washed everything, the coat was smelling amazing. And I opened up the cupboard again. And what flipped into my head? Oh, there's my grater. There's my peeler. but it just happened. So it was like a private joke between me and Hashem, and now between us. It's like, you have families where a kid says something and it becomes the private joke of the family. Like my grandson came and he's so much kavanah. He holds the kos of Kiddush and he goes, Yofi Shishi, instead of Yom HaShishi, Yofi Shishi, but with such self-confidence, I'm sure when he's the long white beard, they're going to be saying to Yofi Shishi. So Hashem and I had this private joke. And I still, till today, it's 3 weeks later, see a lot of, I say, okay, I'm using my grater now to peel my potato. And it's like, I laugh. It's like, I feel this, I don't know, it's just like, he's with me in my kitchen. He's with me everywhere. And he has believed it. Maybe I'll be so if I'm sad, when I'm not sad, that's probably faster. And it's not me. I try. I'm working on it like a lioness. I'm trying. Right. Thank you. 1 hour a day, have you spoken this?
We also have to be careful, okay, not to take it to a point where we deny some of the truth. We are allowed to feel sadness. Moshe Rabbeinu, okay, you can argue with the Kaddish. We are allowed to do it, but there's a place for that. There's that little place, the melon side of the covered, right? The rest of the 23 hours a day.
Be happy, live and laugh. Why? Because thank you. That balance. It's an unbeatable balance. Because just a second.
I can tell you when I feel sad, when I feel what I said, Hashem, don't worry about me. When we are under the weather, don't worry. I know when we are sad, Hashem is. So I told Hashem, don't worry, everything is good. It's just under the weather.
Don't be sad. Don't be
I
sad.
said every time because I don't want Hashem to be upset because I'm upset.
The Shekhinah is happy when we're.
Yes, but I said all the time, I don't want Hashem to be upset with me.
Happy when we're happy. Thank you, Leah. But the question is, how can I be happy? Look at my bank account. Look at what the doctor sent in the blood test. Look at the miserable relationship with who I should. How can I be happy? So yes, you said so beautifully, Esther. Hashem said, Rabbi Nachman gives the advice, an hour a day, which could be 10 minutes until we get there. Right? We can aim for an hour, but it's like aim, but don't feel big. This was like, I'm going to say, if it's not an hour, it's nothing. No, let's try 5 minutes. And in that 5 minutes, I'm facing my problems eye to eye. I'm letting my heart, I'm sorry, I'm letting my heart open up. I can also be happy, it doesn't have to be all, sad. I can be happy and dance. I can thank you. I can sing to Hashem, the great creator and I'm real. And I'm opening, I'm vulnerable. And I'm feeling it. I'm not closing up because then it's gonna come out somewhere else without that. Wow.
Sit with them. They're kind of like people and to find a friend to talk to. It eases them. Somebody talking about having some weather. But he's talking about the things that are
and then when he says the rest of the day be happy, it's like giving us a bracha, and it's giving us permission. I can be happy. Like it's zoom like a mosquito. The bank account, the doctor. Excuse me, I'm aware of that. I've already decided at 8 o'clock I'm going to sit down and talk to my psychologist, to my best friend, to my Father in heaven. He's everything. Tov Hashem Makol. And I'm going to discuss it. So right now, leave me alone. I'm busy living. Live and laugh. The rest of it, there's a beautiful song in Yiddish, which you love. Nish gezort, nish getracht. Don't think too much and don't worry. Don't worry and don't think. Nor delay, nor the laugh. Just live and laugh. What does that mean? Laugh, be happy, because tomorrow, what does that mean? We're people that think a lot, that are sincere, that are serious. What do you mean live and laugh? That's the 23 hours. That 1 hour, it makes it possible. It's under control. I have the meeting set up at 8 o'clock. It's such a problem. I'm even going to cry then, Mr. Yitzhar. But right now I'm busy living, so Bye-bye.
So I think what Miriam said, like, rather not that for 1 hour a day, they have to do hardcore.
Sorry, Deputy.
For one hour a day, they do the hardcore. What is heartbroken is not depression. Being heartbroken, it means an active state. It's very active state. You know, I feel this pain so much. Whatever pain it is, we all of us have pain. So we know it's pain. I'm heartbroken, but I know it's active. I get out of it. I know what happens to me. Depression is you just shut down. You shut down. This is the one thing that's important when it's not yet there. It's not yet there. So we become the heartbroken, but you know, you can say it's difficult. I feel it. You can cry, but I get out. It's still very, very easy. And also when I pray, morning prayer, every time I put my thought in it. When I said Hashem release the bound, I said I am bound. I was bound because I built my own self, my own reason, my ego. So every time I use my ego, I put one more thing in my and then I just trust Hashem, I get out of Hashem.
Thank you. Thank you, Leila. I would love to hear from everyone and more. I prepared 4 more pages for hours. So let me get through the pages and everybody join. So Surmei Rava say to leave the bad to the side, ignore it. I say to concentrate on the good in each other and in myself, because that's the real authentic me. And that's how we have to look. I'm talking to myself when I say this. I have to stop concentrating, looking all day on my mistakes, my confusion, my falling. In fact, I have a magnet I showed you when you were here. Lachgog et hanefila. I learned that from Reb Benzinson, who's from Tel Aviv, originally from France. I can't pronounce his last name, Reb Benzinson. Lachgog et hanefila. I burnt the kugel. I couldn't find the peeler. I left it. After they left on Motzei Shabbos, I see the birthday cake I made for my granddaughter in the freezer. Lachgog, instead of saying that's me, I'm forgetful, it is what it is, gotta live with myself. Like that's also a level lashlim to accept. But this is not to accept. This is lachgog. Hooray! I forgot it again. And I found that I was doing that for a while. Everything. My daughter says I missed the bus. Lachgog. She calls me. She writes me. I thought I started remembering things more. That was not my goal. And my son told me that's because you freed up your energy of being upset at yourself, being, entangled in the negative. You freed that. And so your mind was able to work on remembering the cake and to close the oven. And so if this person falls in the mud, does not become a piece of the mud. He takes a shower and he's clean. Rebbitzin Cook, Tiberia said, every day, let's say I get something on my sweater, like a delicious soup. If I wash it before I go to sleep, I need a little water, it's gone. If I wait till tomorrow, it's a little rubbing. 2 days, it's a little soap and rubbing. A week, it's dry cleaners, If we just know, I fell in the mud, I'm not mud. I'm pure, I'm holy. Shlomo Melech says in Shir Hashirim, Shechor ani v'nava, I'm black and I'm beautiful. Don't look at my black side, that's not the real me. Say Tahara pretending to be me. That's my influence from my v'nava, the real me. Don't identify with my bad. Some people, teacher, let's say, a kid in school, if in the 3rd grade he was like bad, didn't understand anything, made a lot of trouble, the teacher tells the 4th grade, watch out for him. He's gone. First day, he sees the way the teacher looks at him, he identifies with the bad, and he rises to the occasion of bad. But if the 3rd grade teacher, by mistake, or they've done studies, he's the best boy in the class, will be calm. And all this is from Erez Moshe Daron. I want to bring the gula. And he said to him about himself, he took the same subject in school, same person, the same mind, the same subject. The teacher looked at him with a good eye, he succeeded. The teacher didn't, he failed. The same subject. So we have to know how powerful it is to look with an ayin tova to each other and to ourselves. we can look for help, a mentor, a rebbitzin, whatever, but not to rely. This is a generation before Mashiach where the Mishnah says, Al mi yesh lanu l'sha'en, Al avinu shebashamayim. Shemayin Hashem, on that inner voice that tells us what's good for me, what's true for me, what's my truth. It's very unique and very individual. And Yaakov Meir Shechter said, somebody came to him and said his son is no longer on the way of Judaism. He said, show him a lot of love. When you see him, hug him. Yaakov Meir Shechter advised one of his students to love his son, show him love and acceptance and warmth and a big smile when he comes in. And the Baal Shem Tov, the father came to him and said his son left Judaism, became a Christian. Baal Shem Tov said, love him and love him and love him and think good about him. The thought is so powerful. You don't have to be near him. You don't have to be in the same room. You don't have to talk to him. He could be in India or Manhattan or wherever he is. Think good about him and he'll rise. Danim lekafsachuz and he'll be MS go up. He'll be MS do tshuva. And a beautiful story, I think we'll go fast. The Ber Mayim Chaim, very, very big Rav, the student of Rav Mechel's Lutchever in the times of the Baal Shem Tov around. His son also became a non-observant Jew, a gambler. He never gave him one word of Torah. Look at your grandparents, the holy roots you came from. You're maybe descendant of, Abraham, of Baal Shem Tov. He never said that. He showed him a lot of love. He even went to the casino. That was the Kretschmer over there, where he was gambling. And he took a handkerchief and he rubbed his son's forehead because he was sweating from gambling. I got to make another ruble. I got to make 5 rubles. He was sweating. It was hard work. And he eased him by rubbing his. And eventually, I think after he passed away, but you know what? During this function, he came back. He's buried here in Tzfat next to his father. The Ber Mayim Chaim.
Wow.
I think he's the one, correct me if I'm mistaken, who loved Shabbos so much that he grew a whole head taller every Shabbos. I love Shabbos. I'm crazy about Shabbos. I get like butterflies in my heart when you just say the word. My sister, I know I told you this, but I love it. On Tuesday night, that's the turning point between last Shabbos and next, right? Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday are connected to last Shabbos. Wednesday, Thursday, it's 3 and 3. So Tuesday night, we're over the halfway mark, right? We're coming closer now. We're in the last. And what does she do when it gets dark Tuesday? She laughs 3 times. Hooray, it's close to Shabbos. And he loved Shabbos. He grew a head taller. He once rented a tzimmer here in Tzfat from an Arab, and then he went away like Kabbalah Shabbos. They redid it. I don't know which generation, but let's say in the mountains. He came back. The Arab didn't let him in. He says, "You're not the same one I rented the Zimmer to. You're a head." And one Rav said something so beautiful. I can't remember names, but it really touched me. He didn't really grow a head taller. It's just all week long he was so weighed down with the sorrows. On Shabbos, he let it on Hashem. So he looked, so somebody said he's making this miracle less. No, he's making it greater. It's a big deal. He can do a lot of holy things, but that he felt, and then he let go. He felt the tsar of every Jew, and then he let go. And to that's in a way greater. So we have our tzaddikim, we have who to rely on, and the Ber Mayim Chaim never gave one word of criticism to his son. He simply loved him. Let's do that for ourselves. Simply love. Go to celebrate when I fall. I'm not encouraging sin, God forbid. Before the sin, we should never sin. But afterwards, say, I'm sorry, do tshuva, which is a mitzvah, and all mitzvahs should be done with simcha. And then go weiter, because Yitzhak wants me to fall apart, to give up. Oh, again I was angry. Again I messed up. It's not for me. I'm giving up. This I can't do. I'm going to sleep on this. Then he's, hooray, he won it. He won. He got it. He made it. We won, for him. No. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be pacific, even though it's called a freilach of balavera. I'm not saying to sin, God, we're good. We just want to give Hashem nafas to his will and all his mitzvahs. But if it happened and we fell, we are human. Don't get stuck in that. And that's what we learned from this pasuk. That's what exactly. V'ahavta lirecha kamocha. We should love each other as ourselves, and we should be zocheh to help each other and to help ourselves with these feelings of encouragement, love, togetherness. To listen to that inner voice. And you know, I wrote that down and forgot it. Where does it say tzaddik? Not after v'yakum, it's after v'yipol. It's not that he got up that he's a tzaddik. It's that he didn't give up. Thank you very much. Thank you, Shoshana. Good, great trip. All these happy faces, my happy sisters. Thank you.
I'm in the process of moving. I've been here the last couple of weeks, just feeling out there.
Bye, Kaya.
Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
I feel better. Bachachan, I hope you're feeling
Bye.
good that you're not. Bye.
You know, we are crazy.